I'm pissed off. I'm really, really pissed off because they shouldn't have to come to outlets like ours to get their message out. Mm-hmm. I'm a guy who has a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. It's a regular occurrence. On like a weekly basis, I fuck around and make fart noises on my channel. Like, I'm 25% comedian, 75% asshole commentator who just, tells everybody what I think. The fact that they can't get a fair hearing on CNN, on MSNBC, on Fox News, they can't get the Washington Post or the New York Times or anybody else to talk to them or even just represent Julian's side of this fairly is the most damning indictment of the media I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely pathetic. And, we gave them, hey, if Biden was listening, what would you say to them? Well, if Biden was listening to us, which I know he's not, but what I would tell him is very simple. We're told in this country that we believe in democracy and human rights and freedom and rule of law and the Constitution. It's hammered in our heads from when we're kids. This is stuff that he says all the time in speeches. Democrats say it all the time in speeches. Republicans say it all the time in speeches. All this flowery rhetoric where we're sucking ourselves off and acting like, we're so great, we're so high and mighty. America is the exceptional nation. Abide by what you say you believe in. Abide by what you say you believe in. And this isn't a difficult case. I think that's the reason why I'm so pissed off, is nobody in mainstream media will listen to them, and it's not even a difficult case. The media under Trump, they would cry and whine and bitch and moan when Trump would do a press conference and he would make fun of Jim Acosta. And, oh, the free press is under assault. Oh, my God, the president made fun of Jim Acosta, this pompous prick. Wow, one pompous prick made fun of another pompous prick, and somehow this is national news. This dominates multiple news cycles, but you have somebody who exposed war crimes. That's all he did. He exposed war crimes. He showed journalists getting killed and then the first responders getting killed. All he did was leak that information. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. He just said, hey, this happened with your money in your name, American taxpayers. Look at this. And because of that, he's a fucking pariah. He's a pariah, and he's been locked up. He is being psychologically tortured. He's being physically tortured. This is a hero. And you know what? If Biden doesn't do the right thing, just like with Trump, they might be in their little establishment bubble and don't even realize what they're doing, right? But history is going to judge you. History is going to judge you. Today, we look back at Vietnam and Daniel Ellsberg and the Pentagon Papers. We learned about how U.S. soldiers were using napalm and Agent Orange and destroying these innocent villages. These landless peasants were getting massacred. And you know what? When they released that back then, it was a fucking scandal, and it was a debate, and they threw the book at everybody who released it. Today, we look back and we go, what the fuck were we thinking? These are heroes. We all agree now that they're heroes because it's obvious. And here we have a situation, whether it's Julian Assange, it was Chelsea Manning, it's Edward Snowden. These are whistleblowers. These are heroes. In the case of Julian Assange, he's a journalist. He's saying, here's a fact of what happened in the world. And they can't get covered. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody in mainstream media is talking about it. And I haven't heard anything from Joe Biden, Mr. I'm going to bring decency back to the White House. Fuck off. Well, be fucking useful for once in your life. God damn it. So, not like Joe Biden, crime bill, Joe Biden, bankruptcy bill, Joe Biden, Patriot Act, Joe Biden, Iraq War, Joe Biden. For fucking once, do the right thing with this. Yep. It's not hard. This is a clear case. It's a clear case. All the things they say against Julian are nonsense. Just drop the charges, pardon them, let's be done with this. I mean, again, it's amazing as you watch this and you realize, do you not know that in 50 fucking years, people will be like, you're the biggest fucking idiots in the world for having this happen, this poor soul being persecuted? Do you not see that? Do they genuinely not see that? That, like, this is how history is going to judge it? And the answer is they don't see it. Yeah. They don't see it. Because on top of being unprincipled goons, they're also fucking idiots.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
I think so, yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening to that extraordinary interview. Please, please, please do the things that John and Gabriel said. Put pressure, raise awareness. turn up the temperature on this, because the thing that the Biden administration wants most is for no one to say a word about the blatant hypocrisy involved in this case. So do not let that happen.
And not just that. They said, their strategy was do it at the smaller level.
Yeah, congressional district
district, call your congressperson. I'm going to say, don't call your congressperson. Yes, do exactly what they said. Also, call the fucking White House. Let's flood the White House. Why not? Why not, right? If we can get 100,000 people to call the White House, you think maybe they'll be, whoa, what the fuck's going on here, right? I'm sure 90% of the stuff does not get to Biden's desk if you call the White House.
Right.
But if you get 100,000 calls about Julian Assange, maybe at least then we'll get some coverage in the media. They'll be like, shit, there's 100,000 people that just called, right? So let's use this power that we have, the limited power we have with this show, for good. Use, whatever power you guys have, even if it's just a phone call and a message, use it for good. Let's flood that White House line. Let's demand that he be pardoned and the charges be dropped, because this is inexcusable. And we can't sit idly by while something like this goes on. So call, you know what? Fuck it. We'll leave the number on the screen right now. How about that? We'll put the number on the screen right now.
Raise hell however you can, guys. Don't let this crime that the administration is prosecuting against Julian Assange, don't let them slide for this.
Assuming that Joe Biden is watching this, which is quite an assumption, but assuming he's watching this, you have 2 minutes of his time to make your strongest case for Julian to get a full pardon. What would you say? Both of you.
I think, with this, under Trump, there was this sort of disengagement from the outside world. There was, and Joe Biden's really pushed, and the State Department, they've pushed this, that they're re-engaging with the world now. So, with Julian's case, we have all this support. There's parliamentary groups all through Europe, Spain, UK, 24 parliamentarians in the UK, all supporting this case be dropped. There's this other phenomena that's happening at the moment where, places that the US State Department are trying to encourage to be more transparent, to promote human rights in places like China and Russia. They're now saying, what about Assange? Like the Foreign Affairs spokesperson in China, they were confronted about their human rights and their press freedoms. They said, by the State Department, and they said, well, what about Assange? You have a publisher locked up. In the UK, Russian ambassador to the UK confronted about Navalny. He said, well, you've got down the road, you've got a publisher in jail. Aliyev, the Azerbaijani, Azerbaijani, whatever you want to call him, confronted about his record on press freedoms. He said, well, you can't talk to me. You've got Assange locked up.
That was incredible, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think, for the State Department and this administration to really reestablish this sort of moral high ground that it can now approach these countries with, freeing Assange is one easy way to do that, and takes this big roadblock out from whenever they have discussions with other states.
What would you say, John?
Oh, well, it would only take me 30 seconds. I would just say to the President that you are aware, your advisors have made you aware of what a global mess this is. It embraces all of your allies in the problem. The way to solve it is to drop these charges. That'll solve it for you. Diplomatically, of course, it would reverberate around the world, and people again would look to the United States, as Gabrielle has just said, for the guidance that the First Amendment gives us all.
And for the people who are watching or listening to this interview, what can they do, John, to help lift up this case, to help make the Biden administration, convince the Biden administration that these charges should absolutely be dropped? What are you asking people to do?
Well, first thing they had best do is continue to listen to Crystal and Saga, because the matter's covered thoroughly. And after that, discuss it with your family and friends, and then just ring the Department of Justice or send them a letter saying that this matter must be attended to. There's a technique that the mother of Gabrielle's daughter developed in Australia, which is taking up a limited petition. And that petition only goes to those people in your district. You might get 200, you might get 50, or you might get 400, and you submit that to your representative. That's all. Only within the district, and only those in your district. And that way, that influences, because the responsibility, part of the responsibility of a congressman is to listen to and be aware of the necessities that his constituents bring to him.